Hey, I'm Tyler from Neck Deep Media, sitting here with Carridale. If you guys can just say your names when you guys play.
I'm Nathan Edwards, I sing.
And I'm Kobi Childers, and I play drums. I'm Wayne, and I play bass.
Alright, so you guys have been on tour for about 2 months now. How's the tour been going so far?
Dude, it's been awesome. This is definitely one of our favorite tours. I mean, we originally got the idea to do the tour just from like trying to get the dudes with the punches to do the tour forever, because we've been friends with those dudes. Our first tour ever was with them, and so we've always tried to get tours together, but something happens, like one of us like vans break down or like something happens, we can't do it, and then like luckily our dudes and thieves jumped on, and they're like some of our best friends from Texas, so it was just like the perfect culmination of situations to make this tour happen. So
how's the different cities been directing your music? Because have you guys done a full nation tour?
Yes, yes. This is actually
well, we got kind of like not always screwed, but I guess.
Yeah, we got the first time. Okay, we did a full U.S. We went out west, and the tour we had some complications with. We had a few dates canceled. Sketchy promoter guy that I won't name because I'm not gonna be a jerk, but he basically screwed over a bunch of our bands and our band and a bunch of our friends' bands. And so we got out to the West Coast, and we ended up only having like 2 shows on the entire West Coast. Picked up some shows last minute because the dudes in Gravemaker were awesome and let us jump on some shows. Paid us out of their pocket, like some of the best dudes. Like didn't even know those guys before we did it. Like literally, they paid us gas money out of their guarantee every night so that we could do it. Those are the shows in Washington. We played a few shows in Oregon, and then all the shows in like California canceled except for a show in like Long Beach and San Diego. We played. So this is those shows were so good. But this is the first time we've actually made it to the West Coast without being sketched out. Like we actually had shows, and it was awesome. Definitely awesome. So.
How have they been reacting to your music? I mean, do they all seem to know the words, or just come for other bands?
Every now and then there'll be a show where there's only like 1 or 2 people, but then there's really good shows where out of nowhere there's like 10 kids at least knowing the words, singing along every time. And
yeah.
It's a mix. Sometimes people know it, sometimes they just kind of sit there and soak it in, and sometimes they go absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it varies. This tour has definitely been completely random. I mean, like we have cities that we do well in, that we've always done well in. We have like really strong followings in mostly in the South and on the East Coast that we've hit a bunch. But like, you know, we had random shows like what was it? The Salt Lake City.
Yeah, Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City was absurd. Like that show was absurd. I mean, like it was
so much fun.
And it was our first time there. We played Ogden, Utah, which is outside of Salt Lake or whatever. And that was a cool show. But we like jumped on the random battle of the bands. Like this is like a year ago. This show was just like, it was killer. It was so good. One of our favorite shows of the tour. I'd say we've never actually played Salt Lake before, so that's saying a lot. Like it was pretty rad.
How have your fans been reacting to your latest release, Relapsing River City?
I would say pretty well. I mean, we definitely haven't had any negative feedback. That's for sure, which is a plus when you release a new record. You know, you take the chance, especially when you release a new album, you take chances and liberties musically where you progress or digress. You know, you're going one way or the other with your music, and I think everyone's been really receptive of it. I mean, we definitely got a lot of really good press and a lot of kids that are really stoked on it. So it's definitely been doing well for us.
Whose idea was it to get it pressed on vinyl?
Actually, that would be Joe from Hang Tight Records. I mean, I'm a huge like vinyl collector anyway. It's like I love records. But Joe from Hang Tight, he runs Hang Tight Records over in the UK. He actually came to us about it, and we were totally down just because he's a great dude, does great things for all of our bands and like with the Punches and Thieves and all of our friends. Like he's really supportive of everything going on in like the movement, you know, that's happening. So it's pretty rad.
So what's your guys' writing process like? Do you guys write while on the road touring, or lock yourself in a room for a month?
We'll figure out other stuff.
Well, we have the weirdest writing process. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make much sense.
Well, the early writing process was a lot of acoustic. It was a lot of me and the original guitarist like just jamming stuff out, writing stuff like that. And it still kind of does that a little bit, but for the most part, we don't, like back home, we don't have like a whole lot of place we can practice. Now we do. We have a steady place where we can practice and write, but normally it would be like most of us sitting around, Kobi beating on his hands and knees, and like us just like writing riffs, and then we'd go into the studio and he would actually track stuff. So I mean, like a lot of our writing went on in the studio, with basically going into the whole.
All of my writing.
Yeah, all of his writing went in, like was in the studio, and most of Wayne's writing as well. But lyrics and most of the core riffs for choruses and verses and stuff like that, we had at least an idea of what we were doing when we went in, but
still was an idea. But most of the guitar stuff was written.
Yeah, that's true. We would go in with a lot of riffs and leads and stuff, and Josh, just being Josh, would just like freestyle some incredible stuff, and like we would just take that instead. So we would go into basically we would go in with an acoustical idea of a song, and then by the time it came out, it was like a completely different song. pretty rad. It's different. It's not ideal to write everything in the studio because a lot of people can't afford it. But luckily, we have a really good friend who's really cool with us that is good with working with us on money and writing and stuff in the studio. So.
I know it's kind of soon because you guys just released your album a few months ago, but have you guys been working on any newer tracks?
Yes, we have. We got a good bit of stuff working on, actually. We've got a couple songs we've been jamming on this tour. We actually rented out a practice space with the guys and with the Punches and Thieves for a couple days. We jammed some stuff a little bit. Right now, we're kind of in a transition phase because Kyle left and we have a fill-in right now, so writing is a little not set in stone. But it's been, we definitely have a lot of stuff in the works, and our goal is to go in and record this fall, this winter, get something out, and maybe release springtime, summer next year. And worst case scenario, we're looking at doing an acoustic EP too. Like we really want to do some acoustic stuff. So.
I would love that.
Yeah, like we're just trying to test, where our band can go and what we can pull off, and I think it's pretty cool.
So what's next for you guys after this tour then?
Honestly, at least a week or two of doing absolutely nothing but playing video games and just sitting on our asses.
I gotta go home and work and pay off bills.
Yeah.
So T-Mobile doesn't sue me.
What about you?
I'm gonna go home and do absolutely nothing. I think I'm just gonna chill and hang out. Go on, go through. That's what I like to do.
Yeah, like the first week you're home on tour, you like to just kind of sit and just vegetate and just.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, just like because we've been gone. Like at the end of this tour, it'll be a little over 7 weeks. We've been gone, so it's just it gets. It's so much fun, but at the same time you get really bogged down. When you get home, you don't think about what you miss in 7 weeks. You miss all your favorite TV shows. You miss any sporting events if you're into sports at all. Right, Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad's done.
Yeah, dude, Dead Island.
Breaking Bad's done?
I think it was only out. If I'm thinking of the right show, it was only it was only granted like 7 episodes.
Yeah. Well, Breaking Bad.
Wait, no, I'm.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, there's a few seasons of Breaking Bad.
I was on season 4. And you just started season 4, I think.
Yeah.
And
But
I don't even know.
But yeah, like when you're on the road, you don't think about that. But for instance, I'm a huge zombie fan. I am obsessed with Resident Evil since I was like 8. Like it's my favorite game series. Like I've loved it. And Dead Island came out Tuesday, and so I'm just sitting here like listening to all my friends talk about how awesome this game is. So like when I get home, my first mission is to do nothing but play that game and hang out with my girlfriend. Like that's it. It's girlfriend and video game, and that's it. And then like Gears of War 3 comes out September 19th, and that's my jam. So lots of video games to catch up on, TV shows. Luckily, like all of our favorites, like Dexter and all the shows we watch, start after we get home, so we haven't missed anything like that.
Dexter, Walking Dead, Auburn College football, national champion. I'm gonna drink heavily with my buddy Lance.
Yep.
And work.
Basically, just sit around for a while, then eventually go back to work and get some money, go into the studio, do all that stuff. So we'll be back out in December. So.
All right, one last question. It's a little silly,
okay.
But say that your band was a rocket ship and you can travel to any planet in your imagination. What would it be and why?
Oh,
Uranus. I went there.
I got mine already. I'm ready. I got a good one for this.
Go ahead then.
No, you go.
I was good at Tatooine and pod race.
Tatooine. Yeah, it's a fictional planet. You realize that, right?
You don't know that.
It exists. Yeah. It exists somewhere.
You really don't know that.
Yeah, George Lucas created the universe, and it exists somewhere out beyond the realm.
Lucas lives in space with God.
George Lucas lives in space with God, kids. That's how that works. No, I would want to go to Pluto because I know that Pluto isn't considered a planet anymore, and I think it's bullshit. I want to go find out why it's not a planet, and I want to investigate this because I'm pretty sure at some point when I was a child, I missed a question on a test about how many planets there were, and if I miss a question on a test about Pluto, that should be rescinded, right? Like I should be okay now because Pluto was taken back, just like they took back the Brontosaurus. The Brontosaurus isn't a dinosaur anymore. Like science is just
yeah.
No, it's they mixed up bones from a different.
Land Before Time, all that stuff.
Fake, man.
And an entire cartoon series was based on lies. It's crap. So I want to go to Pluto and find out what the hell's really
When
going
they
on.
first get there, the first things they see doesn't exist.
And did you know that raptors aren't like the big 8 feet huge monsters? They're like
tiny
little tiny. They're like
I think they were small, but I didn't think of that small.
It's amazing what adults lie about to you when you're a
It's like a
child.
major part of my childhood.
No, right? Dude, when I was a kid, I used to watch Land Before Time all the time. That entire cartoon series is based on a lie that we were fed for years because one scientist mixed up bones. Stupid.
Sarah's an ass.
But yeah, Pluto, because I want to get to the bottom of this crap. I gotta know what's up.
I'm trying to finish the pod racing.
I got a Jupiter. Just jump in the eye, a little storm.
I don't know if you make it.
I would make it, man. If our van can fly.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot.
I'm pretty sure.
I forgot we're traveling
Friggin'
via
Jupiter.
van, so that's. I like it. I'm down.
All right, well, is there anything else you guys want to add, complain, yell, vent about?
I think we're good. This tour's been pretty good. I mean, cool heads have prevailed. So we've been. All right. This tour's been awesome. For a 7-week tour, you usually end up kind of irritable at the end of it, ready to go. But honestly, this tour's been perfect. Like our best friends, you know, Thieves and With the Punches. All the dudes in all those bands are just really great dudes and really good friends of ours. And couldn't be happier. This tour's been rad. So we'll be back out in December. We're going back out to do a little southwest run in December, and writing and recording new stuff. So,
perfect. Well, thank you for sitting down with me for this.
Yeah,
No problem, man. Thanks for having me.
all right, sweet.